Hello students, welcome to AffairsCloud. My name is Vikas. We have an app by the name Careers Cloud which you can go and download through Play Store. Once you have downloaded the application, you will be able to easily log in using your Gmail ID. Once you have logged in, you will be redirected to this page where you will be getting this UI and there will be option for home, all courses, my courses and doubt section. On this application, you will be getting multiple PDFs, multiple content on daily basis that will be enhancing your learning. Our first segment is daily current affairs. We make sure to provide you current affairs on daily basis in both English as well as in Hindi content. The PDFs for the same are uploaded on our application, and apart from this, we also make sure to provide you with quizzes that will help you to revise the content after you have gone through the PDF. Next comes our weekly content. The content is also provided in both English as well as in Hindi, and here we also make sure to provide you quiz also of that past week's current affairs that will be enhancing your learning, as it is a compilation of the important topics, important MCQ questions for the last week. Similar for the monthly, the PDFs are very important. They provide you insights of various topics, as well as we also make sure to provide you the quiz of monthly questions that are very important for learning. Next, we also provide you with important PIB articles on daily basis so that you can go through these articles and have an insight about that particular topic. Not just this, we also make sure to provide you important events that are happening globally and make sure to give you the right analysis. One of the most important segment of our application is that we make sure to provide you with the correct exam analysis. When you are having exam, we make sure to provide you with previous year questions so that the student can go through the exam pattern and the syllabus and can prepare the exam accordingly based on the pattern. After the exam, we also make sure to provide you with the exam analysis. Then for the students who are preparing for state exams, they will be also beneficial here, as we will make sure to provide with state-wise current affairs for them. Apart from this, we also make sure to cover the topic-wise current affairs such as your national affairs, government schemes, international affairs, banking and finance, economy and businesses, as these are the topics from which the examiner definitely asks the question, and these are covered on the monthly basis. So friends, do check our application. It will be a one-stop solution for learning. Apart from this, friends, Careers Cloud is hiring. We are looking for candidates for subject matter experts in quants, reasoning and English, and also we are looking for a content creator for current affairs topic on daily basis, weekly basis and monthly basis. There is also an opening for a person who can translate the English content into Hindi. If you want to apply, you can scan the code here for further details, or you can go to the description and click the link below. These positions are available both in full-time and freelance for serious candidates. Hello everyone. So in this video, we will be discussing important current affairs for 28th and 29th of April. Session will be quite interesting and important, so do take notes. They will be very beneficial for your learning. Let's start. First is, which of the following companies were accorded with the Navaratna status? So there are two companies that were accorded with the Navaratna status, or they were granted Navaratna status by Department of Public Enterprise. So which are they? They are your IREDA and HUDCO, right? Indian Renewable Energy Development Agency and your Housing and Urban Development Corporation Limited. They both were granted with the Navaratna status. If we talk about Grid Controller of India Limited, remember they have been categorized as the Mini Ratna Category 1 CPSC under the Ministry of Power. Right? Take a note of this. Then if we talk about NTPC Limited, that is your National Thermal Power Corporation. They have signed a pact with JBIC, that is your Japan Bank for International Cooperation, and this partnership between NTPC and JBIC was for foreign currency loans of $200 million, or we can say close to 30 billion Japanese yen, or 1650 crore rupees. So NTPC partnered with JBIC for this amount of loan. Correct? Take a note of this. Apart from this, friends, remember, if we talk about IREDA, IREDA's net profit rose by 32% year on year to 337 crore rupees, and their assets under management grew by 26.8%. If we talk about HUDCO, HUDCO is a public sector company under the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. And IREDA, it was established in 1987. It is as a Miniratna Public Limited Company under the Ministry of New and Renewable Energy. Right, then if we talk about Navaratna status, right, Navaratna status is granted by Indian government to top tier PSUs and allowing them to make investment up to 1000 crore rupees without any central approval. That means these organizations who have been granted with the Navaratna status, they can now make investment of 1000 crore rupees without any prior permission from the center government. These companies can invest up to 30% of their net worth annually, provided it remains under 1000 crore rupees, and they can participate in joint ventures, alliances, establish foreign subsidiaries, and so on. And now IREDA and HUDCO, they have been granted with the Navaratna status. And to qualify for a Navaratna status, a company must already hold a Mini Ratna category 1 under the Schedule A of the CPSC. Apart from this, these are some of the companies: Engineers India Limited, Container Corporation of India, Bharat Electronics Limited, Hall, Nelly Lignite Corporation, Rashtriya Ispat Nigam Limited, Rashtriya Chemical Fertilizers Limited, Mahanagar Telephone Nigam Limited, National Building Construction Corporation, National Aluminium Company, that is NALCO, National Mineral Development Limited NMDC, Rail Vikas Nigam Limited, Shipping Corporation of India, ONGC Videsh Limited, RITES, Ircon International, IREDA, National Fertilizers Limited, and HUDCO, and these two have been recently granted with this status. Correct? Moving on. Next. Also remember friends, if I ask you this HUDCO, this comes under which ministry? HUDCO comes under the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. And your IREDA, this comes under which ministry? IREDA, it comes under the Ministry of New and Renewable Energy. Moving on. Next, ISRO's long-term satellite imagery covering the catchment of Indian Himalayan river basins from 1984 to 2023, around how many glacial lakes have notably been expanded since 1984? That means we know that temperature is rising, right? We know that the ice on those glaciers are melting because of the rise in temperature and climate change. So question asked here is that according to the ISRO's long-term satellite image covering of the Indian Himalayan rivers basins, right, and the data is from 1984 till 2023. According to this data, how many glacial lakes have been expanded? That means the area that used to be covered by glacial lakes have now been expanded. So among the 2431, that is 2431 lakes that were larger than 10 hectares have been identified during 2016-17, and around 676 glacial lakes have been expanded since 1984. That means a total of 676 glacial lakes have been expanded since 1984. And out of these 676 lakes, almost 601 lakes have been expanded more than twice. 10 lakes have grown between 1.5 to 2 times, and 65 lakes have been expanded 1.5 times. Correct? And remember, this elevation based analysis shows that 314 lakes are in the 4000 to 5000 meters elevation range, while 296 lakes are above 5000 meter. Correct? So coming back, remember it was ISRO's data. They were managing, or they were looking at the Indian Himalayan river basins from 1984 to 2023, and because of the temperature rising, because of the climate change, the ice in those glaciers have started melting, and the rivers that used to be there, they have been expanded, and there were 676 glacial lakes that have been expanded, out of which 600 have been expanded twice. 10 lakes have been expanded between 1.5 times to 2 times, and 65 lakes have been expanded to 1.5 times. Right? Take a note of this. Next, here you can see more than 27% of the identified glacial lakes in the Himalayas has been expanded since 1984 according to the data released by ISRO. Next, which Indian naval ship participated in the maritime partnership exercise with United Kingdom Littoral Response Group South? So which is that Indian naval ship? It is INS Shahadri. Right? Indian naval ship Shahadri, it participated in the maritime partnership exercise with the United Kingdom's Littoral Response Group South. Right? Take a note of this. Correct? Where was this exercise held? This was at the Lime Bay at sea. And this was basically to strengthen the cooperation between India and UK, this exercise was conducted. Right? Apart from this, remember, Indian Navy commissioned the INS Jatayu at Minicoy. And Minicoy, remember, this is a island in Lakshadweep. At Minicoy Island. That is at Lakshadweep, right? So INS Jatayu was commissioned there. If we talk about INS Sandhyak, that is also known as Yard 3025, right? Indian Navy commissioned this survey vessel Yard 3025 or INS Sandhyak, where it was commissioned at Vishakhapatnam. Then if we talk about INS Tir, it is representing the first training squadron and they have joined the Cutlass Express exercise. Exercise Cutlass Express. So question can be asked, which Indian naval ship took part in this Cutlass exercise? It is INS Tir. And where was this Cutlass Express held? Location, it is Seychelles, right? In Seychelles this exercise was conducted, right? Moving on, if we talk about this INS Shahadri, it is the third ship of the indigenously designed and built Project 17 class. It was built at Madgaon Dock Shipbuilders Limited at Mumbai, Maharashtra. So remember, this question can definitely ask that INS Shahadri was built by which organization. Then it was officially commissioned in Indian Navy on 21st July 2012 into Eastern Naval Command at Vishakhapatnam. And at present, there are 3 stealth frigates under Project 17 class series. They are INS Shivalik, INS Shahadri and INS Satpura. Next, apart from this, friends, remember we have a official Telegram link channel. Here is the link provided to you. Take a note, just pause the video here itself, go to this link and follow our Telegram channel, right? All the information, all the updates related to our daily current affairs, links will be provided to here. Shorts links will be provided to you here, right? Daily we will be providing you quiz here. Daily we will be providing you one-liners in this particular Telegram channel, right? So this is the official Telegram channel and I suggest all of the students watching this video to pause this video, download your Telegram, and if you have Telegram, go to this link and follow us, right? All the information will be provided to you on this Telegram channel. Let's move on. Next is, what should be the minimum net worth of small finance bank at the end of previous quarter to be eligible for convergence into the UB? So what is the minimum capital requirement here for small finance bank that has been laid out by RB, that is RBI, Reserve Bank of India, to convert into UBs? What are UBs? Universal banks. So RBI, they have laid out the framework and there should these small finance bank, they should have a minimum paid up capital of 1000 crore rupees in order to convert from a small finance bank into universal banks. Correct? Take a note of this. Apart from this, if we talk about RBI, they have raised the minimum capital requirement for asset reconstruction companies to how much? Earlier it was 100 crore rupees. Now it has been increased to 300 crore rupees for asset reconstruction companies, the minimum capital requirement. If we talk about the minimum paid up equity capital of the payments bank, it should be 100 crore rupees. Minimum paid up equity capital required by the payment bank should be 100 crore rupees, right? Apart from this, remember, recently Regional Rural Bank Amendment Bill of 2014 was introduced and this act provides for the authorized capital of each regional rural bank to be 5 crore rupees, right? It should be 5 crore rupees here. So these are the important points. Do take a note of them. Further, if we talk about these conditions are in reference of the guidelines for on-tap licensing of small finance bank in private sector that were issued on 5th of December 2019. And these guidelines provide a transition path for small finance bank and convert them into universal bank. And RBI has issued these instructions in the exercise of the power given in section 22 part 1 of the Banking Regulation Act of 1949. And in 2015, RBI granted in principle approval to 10 applicants to set up as small finance bank in India. Apart from this, remember, I repeat, RBI, they have laid out the framework for the form of eligibility and the conditions for which these small finance banks can voluntarily transition into universal banks. If we talk about small finance bank, these are the financial institutions that will provide financial services to the underserved and unbanked region of the country. They were established under the Companies Act of 2013 and governed by the provision of the RBI Act of 1934 and Banking Regulation Act of 1949. If we look at some of the criteria for the conversion of small finance bank into universal bank, remember there are 6 eligibility conditions here. First is small finance bank should have a minimum net worth of 1000 crore rupees at the end of the previous quarter. Then interested small finance bank should have scheduled status with a satisfactory track record of performance for a minimum of 5 years. They should meet the prescribed capital to risk weight asset ratio requirement of 15% of the small finance bank. Apart from this, they should meet the prescribed capital risk weight asset ratio of 15% we just saw. Apart from this, only 10 small finance among these 10 small finance bank, only Northeast Small Finance Bank is not listed on the recognized stock exchange, and small finance bank they should have a net profit in the last 2 financial years, and these small finance bank they should have gross non-performing asset and net non-performing asset of less than or equal to 3% and 1% respectively in the last 2 financial years, right? If we look at the small finance banks in India, AU Small Finance Bank, Capital Small Finance Bank, Equitas Small Finance Bank, ESAF Small Finance Bank, Suryodaya Small Finance Bank, Utkarsh Small Finance Bank, Northeast Small Finance Bank, which is not listed on the stock exchange, then Shivalik Small Finance Bank, Unity Small Finance Bank, Ujjivan Small Finance Bank, and Jana Small Finance Bank. Next, if we talk about RBI, who is the governor here? Shaktikant Das. He is the 25th governor of RBI, headquartered in Mumbai, Maharashtra, and established on 1st of April 1935. Next, remember which organization notified a framework for Category 1 and Category 2 alternative investment funds in the infrastructure sector to raise debt by pledging the equity of their investees' companies. So which is that organization that has notified a framework for Category 1 and Category 2 AIFs? So it will be your, tell me which organization? It is SEBI, Securities and Exchange Board of India. They notified a framework for Category 1 and Category 2 AIF in the infrastructure sector to raise the debt by pledging equity of their investee companies. Right? Take a note of this. Apart from this, remember, if we talk about CCI, correct? CCI has recently imposed a penalty on the global turnover of a company for engaging in activities that distort competition. And this power to CCI has been granted in the provisions of Section 20, 35 and 40 of the Competition Commission Act of 2023 that will come into force from 6th of March 2024. Apart from this, if we talk about IRDAI, they have removed the requirement of case-to-case approval for investment in IDF, NBFCs by insurance companies. And if we talk about RBI, RBI has revised the eligibility norms for the inclusion of urban cooperative banks in the second schedule of RBI Act of 1934. Right? Then further, if we talk about, first of all, tell me what is this alternative investment fund? What does this mean? Alternate investment fund or AIF. This means that any Indian investment vehicle or a product that collects funds from the sophisticated investors, whether it can be an Indian or a foreign investor, and this amount will be collected for investing with a defined investment policy. Then there are two types of fund, that is AIF category 1 and AIF category 2. What is this AIF category fund 1? AIF category fund category 1 means where AIF will invest in startup or early stage ventures. Category 1 means they will be investing money in early stage startups, in early stage ventures or any social venture. Correct? If we talk about category 2, This category 2 is a fund that do not fall under category 1 or category 3. They do not undertake any leverage or borrowing except for meeting their day-to-day needs. And this category 2, unlike category 1, they do not fall or enjoy any specific government incentives or concessions. And if we talk about category 3, then remember category 1 and category 2 can be close-ended. Category 3 can be open-ended. For close-ended, minimum term is of 3 years. And category 3, remember category 3 such as your Motilal Oswal, Alchemy, IIFL, Sage 1, these are the category 3. And category 3 AIFs are the in companies which invest in securities or listed as well as unlisted investee companies. Right? These can be open-ended or close-ended both. That is your category 3. Moving on, here you can see SEBI, they have notified a framework for category 1 and category 2 AIF in the infrastructure sector to raise the debt by pledging the equity of their investee companies. Next is SEBI. Take a note of this, important. SEBI has notified which company to pay regulatory fee based on notional value rather than the premium value for option contract. So which organization it is? SEBI has notified which company or organization here? So SEBI has notified BSE. They have notified BSE to pay regulatory fee on options contract. Directly remember this, important. If we talk about NSE, NSE cuts transaction charge by 1% and plans to exit from non-core business with effect from 1st of April 2024. Then if we talk about National Securities Depository Limited, that is NSDL, right? LEO1 and NSDL Payment, that is a wholly owned subsidiary of or we can say National Securities Depositories Limited, NSDL Payments Bank, that is a subsidiary of NSDL. They together along with LEO1, they have launched LEO1 card. Then if we talk about Central Depository Service Limited, they became the first Indian depository to hold 10 crore active dematerializations. I repeat, CDSL, they became the first Indian depository to hold 10 crore or 100 million active dematerialization. Right? Take a note of this. Apart from this, friends, remember we just saw that it is SEBI, they have notified the BSE, that is Bombay Stock Exchange, to pay regulatory fee based on the notional value rather than the premium value for options contract. Right? And SEBI, they have instructed BSE to pay a differential regulatory fee for the past periods with application interest of 15% per annum on the amount remaining unpaid or belatedly paid on short period for every month of the delay. If we talk about SEBI, SEBI, this is a regulatory authority we know for the capital market. It was established as a statutory body in 1992. Chairperson here is Madhapi Puri Buck, and where is the headquarter? It is in Mumbai, Maharashtra. Next, apart from this, remember there was a SEBI regulation of 2006. What was this SEBI regulation of 2006? Remember here SEBI, they have introduced a regulatory fee on the recognized stock exchanges under the SEBI Regulation Act of 2006, and the rate of this regulatory fee was based on the annual turnover of the stock exchanges, and these exchanges, they are required to pay a fee within 30 days of the each financial year, and this fee was based on the annual turnover of these stock exchanges. So this was your SEBI Regulation Act of 2006. Moving on. Next, which organization has pledged $23.6 billion in 2023 to help Asia and Pacific progress on sustainable development? It is Asian Development Bank, ADB. They have committed $23.6 billion in 2023 to help Asia and Pacific progress on sustainable development. Correct? And this amount, remember, here you can see Asian Development Bank, they pledged this amount from their own resources in 2023. That also included $9.8 billion for climate action to help the Asia and Pacific progress on sustainable development. And Asian Development Bank has also raised an additional $16.4 billion in co-financing through their strong partnership. Right? Take a note of this, important. Apart from this, if we talk about World Bank here, right? World Bank has approved a new project worth $452 million, and it is to improve the connectivity of almost 1.8 million people living in the rural areas of the Assam state. Right, so it is a connectivity project for which World Bank approved $452 million. Then if we talk about the Assam Resilient Rural Bridges program, right, for which this was approved, here under this program, people living in almost 1739 villages will see the development here, and under this various roads and bridges will be constructed and maintained, right. Next is National Bank for Financing Infrastructure and Development, right. They have raised almost 40,000 crore rupees, that is close to 4.8 billion dollar, and it was basically to create Indian lender to more double their loan disbursement. That means Indian lenders, the amount of money they are disbursing through loans or the amount of money they are providing loans can be doubled down. Say for example, earlier they were giving 1000 crore rupees of loan, then now they can give 2000 crore rupees of loan to various lenders in India, right. Next, Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank, if we talk about, that is AIIB. They have invested close to $58.4 million in SEIT, that is Sustainable Energy Infrastructure Trust, and it is for the AIIB's project, that is Project Meridian, right, India Project Meridian. So question can be asked, this Project Meridian, here remember this is, in this how much amount was invested by AIIB, so $58.4 million, or this can be asked that in Project Meridian who invested $58.4 million, it was invested by Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank. If we talk about this SEIT, so they have invested this amount in this SEIT, that is Sustainable Energy Infrastructure Trust, right, and this is SEIT, this is the India's largest renewable energy infrastructure investment trust, that is a InvIT. And we have discussed InvIT. What are these InvITs? These are similar to that of REITs, where we invest in fractional ownership of a property, that is real estate investment trust. Here InvITs are the infrastructure, you invest the money in the infrastructure development of India, right, and this amount will be giving you a fixed amount of return, and these InvITs will be investing money in infrastructure related projects such as your highways, your roads, and REITs, they will be investing your money in the real estate, that can be your commercial or residential, right. Take a note of this. Apart from this, friends, remember Asian Development Bank, they have also launched a Nature Solutions Finance Hub for Asia and Pacific region. This was launched in December 2023. This was launched during the COP28, right, that was held in Dubai, UAE, and here their aim is to attract $2 billion investment that will include your nature based solutions, right. This amount will be used towards your nature protection and nature solutions, and through this Asian Development Bank aims to provide $100 billion in climate financing from their own resources between the time period of 2019 to 2030. So $100 billion between this period will be invested by Asian Development Bank in climate financing. If we talk about Asian Development Bank, who is the president? Masatsugu Asakawa of Japan, headquartered in Manila, Philippines, and there are 68 member nations in the Asian Development Bank, which was established in 1966. Moving on, next is HDFC Life. They have entered into a corporate agency tie-up with Peerless Financial Products Distribution Limited, right. I repeat, HDFC Life, one of the India's leading insurer, they partnered with PFPDL, that is Peerless Financial Product Distribution Limited, and this is a corporate agency tie-up. This partnership will enable PFPDL to distribute HDFC Life insurance product to their customers, right. Next is which organization has partnered with the Foundation for Innovation and Research in Science and Technology, that is FIRST, at IIT Kanpur to boost innovation in mobile financial services and fintech solution. So first of all, remember the full form of this FIRST. What is FIRST? Foundation for Innovation and Research in Science and Technology. So which is that organization that has partnered with IIT Kanpur for this FIRST? So it is your Ericsson India, right. Ericsson India partnered with Ericsson India and FIRST, they have partnered with IIT Kanpur for this FIRST initiative, that is your Foundation for Innovation and Research in Science and Technology. The main aim here will be for driving innovative financial solutions and helping the fintechs to grow to provide them better solutions. So it is Ericsson India, right. Then here you can see Ericsson India and FIRST at the IIT Kanpur, right? They have partnered together and they signed this 2-year partnership to boost innovation in mobile financial services and fintech sector. The aim here is to leverage the Ericsson's global expertise and first innovation ecosystem to create various solutions to come up various ways in which we can enhance this fintech solution sector or fintech sector and help the mobile financial services grow, right? Also remember, if we talk about here Laramit, right? Remember with Laramit, it was Yes Bank who partnered with Laramit to create a cross-border platform to enable MSMEs to conduct international transactions. If we talk about Digivriddhi, it was Karnataka Bank that partnered with Digivriddhi to provide financial services to support the dairy farmers. Correct. And we saw about First Bank, it was with Laramit. They have partnered to create a platform where MSMEs they can conduct international transactions, right? Then coming back here, you can see it was IIT Kanpur's first that have partnered with Ericsson, and it is basically to help the startups in the fintech sector, in the finance sector, so that they can grow, to provide better services, to provide better finance products to the customers. Moving on. Next. Name the personalities who are named as the ambassador of the ICC T20 World Cup 2024. So former Indian cricketer Yuvraj Singh has been named as the ambassador of the ICC T20 World Cup 2024. Take a note of this, direct important, right? So Yuvraj Singh has been named as the ambassador of ICC T20 World Cup 2024. Apart from this, Jamaican sprinter Usain Bolt, he has been named as the ambassador of the 9th edition of the ICC Men's T20 World Cup. Correct? Take a note of this. I repeat, Yuvraj Singh and now Usain Bolt, who is an 8-time Olympic gold medalist, has also been named as the ambassador of the 9th edition of the Men's T20 World Cup that will be held in 2024. Right? So Yuvraj Singh and Usain Bolt. Usain Bolt is from Jamaica. You should know this is the 9th edition of the ICIC T20 World Cup. Where this will be played, this 9th edition of T20 World Cup will be held in 2 countries, West Indies and United States of America. And it will be from 1st to 29th of June. Apart from this, if we talk about Dame Valerie Adams, she is from New Zealand. She is related to shot put and she's a 4-time world champion, 2-time Olympic gold medalist, and she has been named as the international event ambassador of the 16th edition of the TCS World 10K that will be held in Bengaluru, Karnataka, and it was held on 28th of April. Right, so Dame Valerie Adams from New Zealand, she's from shot put and she has been named as the international event ambassador for the 16th edition of the TCS World 10K Bengaluru, Karnataka. If we talk about Ayushman Khurrana, he is an actor, right? He has partnered with Election Commission of India to drive young voting in India and also to encourage the youngsters in India to vote in the Lok Sabha elections that will be held recently, right? So coming back, remember friends, let me show you here. Recently, ICC has named Yuvraj Singh as the ambassador of the ICC Men's T20 International World Cup, which is set to be hosted by USA and West Indies from 1st to 29th of June. Apart from this, remember Yuvraj Singh, we saw Usain Bolt, and one more person is there who has been appointed as the ambassador to this ICC T20 World Cup. He will be Chris Gayle. Chris Gayle. West Indies cricketer Chris Gayle, Indian player Yuvraj Singh, and Usain Bolt, who is a sprinter, has been named as the ICC 9th edition of ICC's T20 World Cup 2024. If we talk about ICC, who is the chairman here? Greg Barclay, headquartered in Dubai, UAE. Then apart from this, also remember Sana Mir. Right, Sana Mir, former Pakistan women's cricketer, has been named as the ambassador of the ICC Women's T20 World Cup Qualifier 2024 that will be held in Abu Dhabi, UAE. Right, remember both of them. And which country will be hosting this ICC Women's T20 World Cup 2024 and qualifier? It will be, we just saw, it is Abu Dhabi, UAE. Abu Dhabi, UAE. And this ICC T20 World Cup, men's T20 World Cup will be hosted by West Indies and United States of America. Moving on, here you can see we talk about some awards and for Yuvraj Singh represented India in 40 tests, 304 one-day international and 58 T20 internationals between 2000 to 2017. He became the first player to hit 6 sixes in 1 over in T20 international, and he has achieved the feat in a match against England during the first edition of T20 World Cup held in 2007 in South Africa. Right? Let's move on. Apart from this, he was also honored with Arjuna Award for cricket in 2012 and Padma Shri in 2014. Next is, which organization sold their entire 2.87% stake in telecom operator Vodafone India for 1840 crore rupees through an open market transaction? It is ATC Telecom Infrastructure Private Limited. Right, they sold their entire 2.87% stake in telecom operator for 1840 crore rupees through an open market transaction, and the share was disposed at an average price of 12.78 rupees per share, and the total shares that were disposed here was 144 crore share. Right, take a note of this. Apart from this, if we talk about Warburg Pincus, right, this is a private equity firm. They sold their entire 2.25% stake in IDFC First Bank for 1195 crore rupees. If we talk about ICICI Venture, they sold their 42% stake in Thiombra Food Limited of Mumbai. And Bain Capital, this is a private equity firm, and they sold their remaining 1.08% stake in Axis Bank for 3575 crore rupees through an open market transaction. And we saw that here ATC, they sold 144 crore shares. Out of this, 49.12 crore shares were acquired by City Global Markets of Mauritius. Right? Do take a note of this also. Next here you can see ATC Telecom Infrastructure. They sold their 2.87% stake in telecom operator Vodafone India for 1840 crore rupees through open market. The shares were disposed at an average of 12.78 rupees per share, totaling 144 crore share. And ATC Telecom Infrastructure, it is one of the largest infrastructure service provider for Vodafone India. Moving on, which of the following species has recently been discovered in the Tail Wildlife Sanctuary of Arunachal Pradesh? So what is the name of that species that has been recently discovered in the Tail Wildlife Sanctuary of Arunachal Pradesh? What is the name? It is Neptis filiera. It is Neptis filiera. Right? This is the name of the species, rare butterfly species that has been discovered in Arunachal Pradesh recently. So take a note of it. Right? And here you can see a group of butterfly enthusiasts from Assam and other states discovered a rare butterfly species that was named Neptis filiera, also known as long streak sailor, at Tail Valley Wildlife Sanctuary, that is in Arunachal Pradesh. This new species of this rare butterfly was discovered, and the species was documented for the first time in India, representing a new record for India. Right? Apart from this, then if we talk about Brucithoa isro, right, researchers discovered this new species of deep sea isopod known as Brucithoa isro. Right, this was discovered off the Kollam coast in Kerala. Right, and this species has been named after ISRO. Correct, and this is for the successful space mission of Chandrayaan 3. It was named after ISRO. Then apart from this, if we talk about Melanoclemis dropdi, right, remember recently the researchers from Zoological Survey of India, they identified a new species of head shield slug. Head shield slug, that is a sea slug, right, and that was named Melanoclemis dropdi. As we know, this is named after President of India Draupadi Murmu ma'am, the 15th President of India, and this new species of head shield sea slug was discovered off the coast of Odisha and West Bengal. Then if we talk about Sparotheca varshabu, remember researchers from national and international organization discovered this new species, that is Sparotheca varshabu, that is a burrowing frog. That is a new species of burrowing frog that was found in Bengaluru, Karnataka. Right? Take a note of this. And remember, if we talk about this Neptis Filera. This was discovered in Arunachal Pradesh in the Tail Wildlife Sanctuary. Right? Take a note of this. Moving on. Next is books. Who is the author of the self-help book titled The Winner's Mindset, published by HarperCollins? So former Australian cricketer Shane Watson launched this new book, The Winner's Mindset, and this book has been published by HarperCollins publisher. In this self-help book, he shares his mental journey, the lessons he learned during his career, and the lessons that he is now passing on to the next generation. Apart from this, if we talk about Shane Watson, he has scored more than 10,950 runs and he took 291 wickets for Australia in across all the formats between 2002 to 2016, and he retired from all the forms of cricket in 2020. Right? Then remember, if we talk about Pankaj Kumar Chatterjee, Roman Roland Book Prize 2024, Roman Roland Book Prize for 2024, and Bengali translation of Stalin's Couch. Right? It was done by Pankaj Kumar Chatterjee and he has won the Roman Roland Book Prize 2024. Then if we talk about author Rakhi Kapoor, she has received the prestigious Golden Book Award for 2024 for her 26th book, that is Breaking Free, Embracing Me. Then if we talk about Norris Pritham, he is a very famous sports journalist and he has written his new book on Neeraj Chopra, that is Neeraj Chopra, the man who made history, as well as the journey of the javelin thrower Neeraj Chopra. So these books has been authored by Norris Pritham, who is a sports journalist. Here you can see former Australian cricketer Shane Watson launched a new book, The Winner's Mindset. Next is World Intellectual Property Day is annually observed on which day to mark the anniversary of the establishment of the World Intellectual Property Organization. So when do we observe this day? World Intellectual Property Day is observed on 26th of April and it is to mark the anniversary of the establishment of the World Intellectual Property Organization that came into force in 1970. Then there is a theme for this day that you all need to remember. That is IP and Sustainable Development Goals, building our common future with innovation and creativity. Correct? On 15th of March, we observe World Consumer Rights Day. Right? World Consumer Rights Day. Then on 26th of November, we observe first ever UN World Sustainable Transport Day. I repeat, first ever UN World Sustainable Transport Day observed on 26th of November. And on 13th of Feb, we observe your UN World Radio Day. Right? And this year it was the 13th anniversary of the World Radio Day that was observed. Correct? Take a note of this. If I ask you what is the theme for the World Consumer Rights Day observed on 15th of March, theme here being fair and responsible AI for consumers. I repeat, fair and responsible AI for consumers is the theme here, and this day was first observed in 1983. Next, here you can see World Intellectual Property Index, World Intellectual Property Day on 26th of April. Here is the theme, that is IP and the Sustainable Development Goals, building our common future with innovation and creativity. Next is World Veterinary Day. Under the theme veterinarians are an essential health workers are observed on which day? So this day is observed on the last Saturday of April month. On the last Saturday of April month. Right? So this year in 2024, it was 27th of April. This day is observed to raise awareness about the veterinarians and recognize and celebrate the contribution of these vets to the animal health and welfare. Right? Who are vet? Vet are known as the doctors of animals. Right? Take a note of this. There is a theme that you all need to remember for this is theme being veterinarians are an essential health workers. Take a note of this. And this annual observance of this World Veterinary Day is led by World Veterinary Association, that is the Federation of Veterinary Association, and this day is observed on 27th of April. Generally, it is the last Saturday of April. Apart from this, if we talk about 2nd April, what do we observe on 2nd April? That is your International Children's Book Day. Right? And it marks the birth anniversary of Danish author Hans Christian Andersen. If we talk about 13th of April or 13th of March, we observe this day as World Rotaract Day. Right? And it marks the formation of the first Rotaract Club. And here only World Rotaract week, if we talk about, it is observed from 11th to 17th of March. Then on 1st of March, we observe Civil Accounts Day, and this was the 48th Civil Accounts Day that was observed, and it marks the foundation of ICAS. Right? Take a note of these. So friends, these were your important current affairs. Now there is one more, that is which day is annually observed in Manipur on 23rd of April to pay homage to the martyrs of the 1891 Anglo-Manipur War. So Manipur observed 133rd Khongzom Day on 23rd of April, and this day is to pay homage to the martyrs of the 1891 Anglo-Manipur War. This was the last battle fought between the Kingdom of Manipur and the British Empire. Right? Take a note of this. And this was 133rd observance of this Khongzom Day. This Khongzom, this is a village in Manipur. Right? Take a note of this. Apart from this, if we talk about this, here only remember, on 8th of Feb, we observed Navsera Day. On 8th Feb, we observed Navsera Day. And it was celebrated at the Neg Jadunath War Memorial in the Rajouri district, that is in, to basically commemorate the victory against Pakistan in 1947-1948 war. And this is for Naik Jadunath Singh, who sacrificed his life in 1948 for his gallant contribution. Then if we talk about Vijay Divas, this day is also known as Victory Day or Bijoy Divas, and it is observed across India as well as Bangladesh. Right? Observed on 16th of December to celebrate historic victory of Indian Armed Force against Pakistan in 1971 Indo-Pak War. And this day is also celebrated to pay tribute to the martyrs of both India and Bangladesh. Sorry, to pay tribute to the martyrs of both India and Bangladesh who lost their life during this 1971 war. Right? Also remember 16th of December this year, last year 2023, it was the 53rd celebration of the Vijay Divas that was observed. And Janjatiya Gaurav Divas, if we talk about, observed on 15th of November, and to commemorate the birth anniversary of Birsa Munda. Birsa Munda, right? Take a note of this. He was an iconic freedom fighter. And 15th of November 2023 was the third observance of this Janjatiya Gaurav Divas. Take a note of this. So friends, these were your important current affairs. Now let's move to the revision part, that will be one of the most important segment of our video, and it is liked by all the students watching this video. Let's start. IREDA and HUDCO, they have granted Navaratna status by the Department of Public Enterprise. More than 27% of the identified glacial lakes in Himalayas expanded since 1984 according to ISRO. Indian Navy participated in maritime partnership exercise with UK's Littoral Group. RBI has laid out framework for voluntary transition of small finance banks into universal banks. SEBI has allowed AIFs to pledge equity shares of investee companies in infrastructure sector. ADB, Asian Development Bank, has pledged $23.6 billion in 2023 to help Asia and Pacific progress on sustainable development. HDFC Life entered into a corporate agency tie-up with the Peerless Financial Products Distribution Limited. Ericsson India and IIT Kanpur's first, they have partnered to boost the mobile fintech innovation. Next is former Indian cricketer Yuvraj Singh has been named ICC Men's T20 World Cup 2024 ambassador along with Chris Gayle and Usain Bolt. ATC Telecom Infrastructure sold their entire 2.87% stake in Vodafone India for 1840 crore rupees. Rare butterfly species, that is Neptis filrea, has been discovered in Arunachal Pradesh. Former Australian cricketer Shane Watson launched a new book, that is The Winner's Mindset. World Intellectual Property Day observed on 26th of April. World Veterinary Day on 27th of April. Manipur has observed 133rd Khongzom Day on 23rd of April. So these are your important current affairs for the day, friends. If you find the session interesting, do like the video and comment below and let us know what are your views for the same. Now let's move to some revision part that will be very beneficial in your learning. Next, the Ministry of Law and Justice constituted a 6-member committee to examine various issues relating to the Queer Committee. I repeat, Ministry of Law and Justice constituted a 6-member committee to examine various issues relating to the Queer Committee. Question asked here is that the committee is headed by whom? So this committee is headed by Rajiv Gauba. Right? Take a note of this.
and this committee will be working towards the for the rights of these bisexual, transgender, intersex, lesbian, queer committee, and make sure that no discrimination or no injustice is done to this these communities. Next, the CCI, that is the Competition Commission of India, has approved an acquisition of 100% of the share capital of PAMP Technologies and dash percent of the share up capital of the fully diluted basis of MMTC PAMP by PAMP Ventures, that is of Switzerland. So, 100% share capital of PAMP Technologies and 72.65% of the share capital of the MMTC PAMP will be acquired by whom? It will be acquired by PAMP Ventures, right? That is in Switzerland. Right. Apart from this, remember CCI has also approved the acquisition of Thisrup Industries India Private Limited by Protos, right? Protos and Paharpur Cooling Towers Limited. Next, which insurance company has partnered with Meta, that was earlier known as Facebook, to introduce premium payment options on WhatsApp? So, which is that insurance company? It will be Bajaj Alliance Life Insurance, right? They have partnered with Meta to produce or to introduce premium payments options, right? Because it's an insurance company, so to for their premium, right, to pay for their insurance policies, the premium for these insurance they can now pay through WhatsApp, right, using WhatsApp. And WhatsApp is a company of Meta only. Remember, Meta owns Facebook, WhatsApp, and Instagram also. Next, as per the World Silver Survey 24 conducted by the Silver Institute, United States of America in April 24, which company has become the third largest silver producer globally? It is our Hindustan Zinc, right? HZL, that is Hindustan Zinc Limited. It is a Vedanta Group company, and now they have become the third largest silver producer globally. This was as per the World Silver Survey report that was released by the Silver Institute of United States of America. Next, the Ministry of Finance notified the amendment to Foreign Exchange Management Rules of 2019 to operationalize the new foreign direct investment limits for satellite related activities. Here, the FDI is allowed up to 100% under the automatic route for manufacturing of the components and systems or subsystem for satellites, ground segment, and user agreement segment. Remember, for space sector recently, in order to produce various components, in order to set up manufacturing for the same, right, to develop various satellites, to develop various subsystems technology, for this 100% FDI has been allowed by the government of India. Or we can say, if ministry is asked, it is your Ministry of Finance that has amended the rules to allow 100% FDI in the space sector. So right option is option 1. Next, in April, the government set up a 7-member panel to promote the commercially viable extraction of critical minerals found in limited quantities. Question asked here is, who will head the panel here? It will be headed by Vijay Kumar Saraswat, right? This is a 7-member panel. It will be headed by Vijay Kumar Saraswat, and this is basically to propose the legislative measures and promote the commercially viable extraction of the critical minerals that are found in limited quantities. And we know a list of 30 critical minerals has been approved by the government of India that will help in the economic development of our nation. For example, one of them is in Jammu and Kashmir, we found the largest mine, or we can say largest reserve of the lithium. And where do we use lithium? Lithiums are used in your electric vehicle batteries. Not just electric vehicle batteries, in the batteries to store energy we use lithium. Next, which state received GI tag for 30 new products including Tirangi Barfi and Banaras metal casting craft? It is Uttar Pradesh, that is UP. Right, UP recently got 13 new GI tags that includes your Banaras Tirangi Barfi, Banaras metal craft, right? And now UP has a total of 75 GI tags, that has the highest number of GI tags in India. Earlier it was Tamil Nadu, now it is UP with the highest number of GI tags. Tamil Nadu is on second position with 58 GI tags. Next, which edition of India-Uzbekistan joint military exercise Dustlik commenced at the Termez district, the Republic of Uzbekistan, in April 2024. So this is the 5th edition of the joint military exercise Dustlik that was conducted from 15th to 18th of April. Location is Republic of Uzbekistan where this was conducted. And this exercise was inaugurated by whom it was inaugurated by Chief of Army Staff Army General Manoj Pandey. Next is which regulatory body or government office has recently constituted a standing committee to transform GIFT City into climate finance hub. So it is IFCA, that is International Financial Centers Authority, right? This is a constitutive committee that has set up a standing committee, and this is basically to make a framework or to prepare a framework to launch various climate financing products, right? So that for climate change that we are seeing that is happening all around the world, to make projects that will help to reduce the effects of climate change and also to work towards sustainable development goals, this IFCA, that is International Financial Centers Authority, they have recently constituted a standing committee, and it is to transform GIFT City into a climate financing hub so that more and more projects can be financed from this GIFT City that is in Gandhinagar, Gujarat. And also remember, banks in GIFT City, they have set aside 5% of the credit for green and sustainable projects. Next, according to the report Viksit Bharat at 2047 released by PhD CCI, that is PhD Chamber of Commerce and Industry in April 24, India's economy is projected to grow by how much in FY24? So Indian economy is projected to grow by 8 to 8.3% in 2025 as per the report released by PhD CCI, right, under their report Viksit Bharat at 2047. And the aim here is to India's economy to reach $7 trillion by 2030. Next, in which state DRDO has recently inaugurated the submersible platform for acoustic characterization and evaluation, that is SPACE, that is a testing hub for sonar systems for the Indian Navy. It is Idukki of Kerala, right? So DRDO inaugurated the submersible platform for acoustic characterization and evaluation, that is the SPACE program, and that is a testing for the sonar systems for the Indian Navy projects, and this was in Idukki, Kerala, and it was recently inaugurated by whom? It was inaugurated by DRDO, right? Take a note of this. And this was established by Naval Physical and Oceanographic Laboratory of DRDO. So either can be given in the question, so you should definitely know the both. Next is your homework section. First, Indian Historical Records Commission, which was seen in news, is a functioning under which ministry? Second, what is the theme of the World Intellectual Property Day 2024 we just saw? Next, recently who was elected as the chairman of the Athletes Commission of the Wrestling Federation of India? Next, recently where was the 12th international meeting of high-ranking officials responsible for security matters held? And next, last question is which country recently passed foreign aid bill to provide military aid to Ukraine? So these are your 5 homework question, friends, and I need to see maximum participation from all the students watching this video.
That's all for the day, friends. I hope you enjoyed the session, and you can follow us on the YouTube channel, as well as apart from YouTube channel, you can go and follow us at AffairsCloud Telegram channel. And if you have any queries related to the content or the of courses offered to you or the payment which you did on the application, you can contact us on the number provided, that is 7677333862. Apart from this, friends, you can follow us on the Facebook as well as on Instagram handle, that is AffairsCloud_official. Also students, you can use code Vikas10 that will give you extra 10% discount on the courses that you will purchase.